There is a reckoning coming in the streaming world. If you're an old lump of coal like me, you'll remember that there was a time we had these things that were called packages. Not that package, like cable packages, where we got basically all the channels we wanted. And the worst that would happen is like, oh God, I gotta pay an extra $15 a month for HBO, but you got everything. Now, everything went a la carte, and everyone talked about how amazing this is. Oh my God, I only watch these 3 channels, and now I can get them for $14 a month. And it was, and times were good. And then what happened? The same thing that always happens: corporate greed. And so Disney started pulling, The Simpsons off Hulu, and then, The Office got pulled out of Netflix from Peacock, and all these networks started diluting the service. And your average consumers now have somewhere between 3 and 5 streaming service and are spending close to $100 a month. I remember when everybody cut the cord in the early 2000s because they were spending $100 a month. Now we're right back to it again, and there is a reckoning coming with it being reported now 70% of staff being laid off at HBO Max, and consolidation happening. Absolutely brutal for their employees, but I expected this 100%. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. There's 40-ish spots left for this month's Roaster's Choice. Out of the 500 people that signed up last month, you know how many people didn't continue? 2. That's how often spots open up. Okay, 2 people. So we're able to finagle things and get 50 more spots open or so for the Roaster's Choice. This is like the artisanal coffee tour around the world stuff. If you wanted to get into that, it's a different blend every month. Make sure, I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you get signed up for it today because it's going to fill up today. And I don't know when we're going to be able to expand it. They were really picky about me just getting enough 50 more pounds. Oh, that's all I wanted. I was like, can I get, well, first I asked for 500 more pounds because I thought I could get, we could open up to 1,000 people, and then they laughed in my face. And so I got 50. It's pathetic, but I got it. HBO Max expected to lay off 70% of their development staff. An insider says it sounds like they're not doing HBO Max scripted shows anymore, with HBO taking over. A major restructuring of HBO and of HBO Max and Discovery Plus is expected to be announced. It's strange. You could see a lot of the comments, bro, HBO Max is such a huge hit and they're really risking it all with this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would say that. I don't necessarily say it's a huge hit. I don't even have the app on my TV. Do you guys have that problem? Like, I have a really new LG TV and it doesn't have the stupid HBO Max app on it. So I have to tether my phone to use it, and it's a total pain. And I can't find it from the app store. So it's not available for my TV model. Anyway, speculation is on fire around HBO Max's future, planned layoffs in major streaming shakeup. Hollywood is buzzing around Warner Brothers Discovery, upcoming earnings results, and plan for combined streaming services, which can upend its most popular streamer. The move will result in a gutting of HBO Max, significant layoffs for its executives and staff to minimize redundancies with HBO, and combine streaming services with Discovery Plus, with a harder line separation between the scripted and unscripted content operations. HBO Max under new management, and fans are worried about the fate of shows like Hacks and Peacemaker and Southside. From what I'm told, Peacemaker will be okay. There's a lot of kind of news coming out at once here, but it's actually nuts. I mean, you see, Warner Brothers, this was late yesterday. Warner Brothers Discovery has been quietly cutting other movies amid shock Batgirl cancellation. 6 films were removed, were all labeled as, quote, Max Originals. Warner Brothers Discovery has been trimming down their offerings on HBO Max, including abruptly removing several films from the streaming platform, which included Moonshot with Melissa McCarthy. Never heard of it. Never really heard of any of those movies. The removals were noted by a Reddit user in a post about the Batgirl movie being shelved with no plans for it to coming out in theaters. One upcoming release, a reboot of the comedy film House Party, has also been removed from the release calendar at HBO Max. Movies and series do leave streaming platforms all the time, but subscribers usually get a notice before the removals happen. In the past, HBO Max has released monthly updates on what's arriving and what's leaving their service, but the six were removed without notice. Moonshot was removed from HBO Max just a few months before its March release. There's also still several executives from Warner Brothers exclusive from Warner Brothers still available on HBO Max. It, alongside with other removed films, are still available digitally for purchase or to rent elsewhere. This is on the heels of Warner Brothers axing Batgirl, taking a $90 million bath. James came out. It says, is Peacemaker safe? Guys, calm down. Yes. James has provided a reassuring tweet for fans of his DC superhero series Peacemaker, which I heard was actually okay. I'm not a big Cena guy, but people seem to like it. Yes, you guys calm down. He tweeted out in a question of whether or not season 2 is happening. Greenlit in 2021, Batgirl was set to star Leslie Grace as Gordon, aka Batgirl, with Miss Marvel filmmakers on board. I mean, this Batgirl was really the first kind of the first domino to fall in all of this. And the future of HBO Max grows even more certain amid merger and layoff rumors. Rumors are swirling that Warner Brothers Discovery may have plans to consolidate their streaming platforms, HBO Max and Discovery Plus. Now, what's interesting to me is who has Discovery Plus? Do you have that? I've heard of it before, but again, is that more of what's on there? I'm actually curious. Maybe I have it and it's rolled into my Hulu sub or something like that. Adding to a dark irony to the phrase too big to fail, multiple insiders say Warner Brothers Discovery plans to consolidate the company's two biggest streamers, HBO Max and Discovery Plus, a move that many fear will result in significant layoffs and content losses at HBO Max. The merger will also reportedly draw a harder line in the sand between Warner Brothers' unscripted and scripted divisions. HBO content chief Casey Bloys is reportedly set to take a more senior position once the consolidation is complete. According to the Wrap, multiple industry insiders expect Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav, by the way, that's the guy that gave up on CNN Plus after 12 seconds, to make an announcement ahead of the company's upcoming quarterly earning report, which marks the first time Warner Bros. Has ranked as the world's number 2 entertainment giant. The troubling rumors mark a long day of chaos that the streamer's Warner Brothers Discovery initiates after a variety of cost-cutting measures, from consolidating their digital content to shuttering productions and removing content in search of tax write-offs. The first signs of distress for the studio came when the bombshell announcement of the $90 million DC Batgirl film would not be released. Then HBO Max quietly removed 6 originals from its streaming service. Per an IndieWire source, the 6 films mark the beginning of a lengthy list of films and series that will get the boot from the streamer. Among the Axe originals, the growing HBO Max graveyard, Moonshot with Melissa McCarthy, Super Intelligent, Seth Rogen's American Pickle, Robert Zemeckis' remake of The Witches, led by Anne Hathaway. These are probably some big money, and that's just one side of film. And the recent cancellations of Gordita Chronicles, Made for Love. It may just be time to hold your love life close and enjoy one last romp with your minx. Just because you have a heart, please don't tell Pretty Little Liars' original sin what's happened. She's so young and impressionable. I'm confused how this actually means less content for people, because if you just merge it, wouldn't it mean that everybody gets more content, or would they keep the subscriptions separate? That's the interesting part. And on top of all of this, you could see, along with the message, Leslie Grace also shared several behind-the-scene images from Batgirl, and it got shredded. You could see, yeah, definitely glad this got shelved. I hope she'll still be Batgirl in future production, and maybe. You see a lot of people, the ugliest Batgirl costume ever. If you still want to see it, I don't care if it's not canon anymore. I suppose it's done. Why wouldn't you just let people buy it if they want to buy it? Thank God this was canceled. The mansion looks so bad. Thumbs down. You could see Warner Brothers used this movie as a tax write-off. and then even cancel Scooby-Doo Holiday Haunt. Yeah, it's like even more embarrassing for this movie. They just used it as a tax write-off. And you can see DC Comics, HBO Max Originals maybe on the chopping block as a whole. Wow. Like this is potential, and this is all developing. So make sure you click that red subscribe button down below. You know, as the story continues to develop, if we get an announcement of the actual layoffs today, I'll let you know. Again, if you wanted to get in on the Roaster's Choice, I'll leave a link for that in the description below. We're still running our Stimmy sale with 10% off all new orders, and including on the K-Cup pre-orders, all 5 of our coffees, our cold brew bags, our 3 hot cocos, our decaf, our 6 organic, loose leaf teas, and much more. So today is a great day. I think there's only 1 day left in the sale, so time to head on over. If you're not a Roaster's Choice person, there's still something for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.